the women's 4x100m.
The tension inside the stadium is electric as national pride, world championship dreams and relay precision all collide. Two heats, a handful of heavy favourites and a field of hungry challengers, ready to prove that in the 4x100m relay, speed alone means nothing without flawless execution. With the crowd on their feet and every exchange a potential make or break moment, one thing is certain: anything can happen when the baton is in play.
Line up for heat 1 of 2, the women's 4x1. The outside lane, lane 8, Chile, Hernandez, Montt, Jimenez and Ramirez. There they are. Lane 7, it's France. Rimlinger will lead them out, followed by Richard, Paraso and Gallet. An experienced team there. They were 4th in the Olympics in Paris. What can they do here? Côte d'Ivoire in lane 6, led out by Dennis, followed by Kone, Deji and Clark. Italy will be the other favourites, coming on your screen shortly. They were 4th in their heat, but what can they do here? Fontana will lead them out, followed by Kadari, Siragusa and Pavas. Looking serious. Inside lane, Portugal, men's team did well yesterday, but Andrade will lead them out, Bazola, Gandula and Silva. That is the Portuguese team. That is how we line up for the women's 4x100 meters here. It is the top 3 that qualify, so only 2 of these teams will be missing out going to Tokyo. But in a 4x100 meter relay, anything can happen with the baton. So the favourites, being France in lane 7 and Italy in lane 5, mean absolutely nothing if they can't get that baton around safely. Chile 8, France 7, Ivory Coast 6, Italy 5, Portugal 4. Oh, starter maybe not happy. Wait and see what's going on there. We don't think it was a penalty, but we will wait and see. Maybe some noise. We will find out shortly and we'll be getting underway. Very happy fans in the audience here. The starter with his gun. Yep, green card shown, which means no athlete was at fault. We go again. Nothing like an almost full start for a bit of a tension builder. Here we go again. Deep breath out from Fontana, who will lead out the Italian quartet. Rimlinger for France, experienced. Lane 5, Italy. Lane 7, France. Keep your eyes on them. And they're away this time, and they all get away fast. Rimlinger from France doing pretty well there, making inroads on Chile on the outside. Here's the first exchange. How clean is it? Yep, they're all away. France, Italy, away clearly. France already making some time up on Chile on the outside, but look at Italy there, coming through, exchanging in first place. It's Italy in lane 5, but look at the acceleration from France there on the 1, but 2 on the outside of your screen, and here we go. It is Italy and France down into the home straight. France just have the advantage. France have it at the moment. It's the top 3 that qualify for the world champs. Oh goodness me, Portugal and Chile are absolutely fighting for it behind. Italy are going to take this one. Oh my goodness, France! I think just France, Italy, and then Chile secure a world championship qualifying position. Wow, they will be absolutely buzzed with that. France in first, Italy in second, Chile, they can't believe it.
You have to get the baton round, Jess, and Côte d'Ivoire would have been one of the favourites. They didn't get it round, and that opened up the possibility for the likes of Chile and Portugal, as you say, 2 of the maybe lesser fancied nations in terms of the global stage here. But you have to get the baton round as a team, execute. Côte d'Ivoire are holding an inquest further back around the stadium, but France unsurprisingly celebrating there are two of their most experienced athletes. Italy again seeing it through. They've both had a good night in terms of taking second opportunities, and here are the celebrations for Chile.
Yeah, they're ecstatic. Portugal, on the other hand, they look absolutely gutted. But France, yeah, Gallet, job done for her. She was part of the Paris Olympic team where they came fourth. Wasn't to be for Portugal. No qualification for them like the men. Parisot there, another experienced French athlete. Oh, and here we go. Beautiful close-up there of the pink spikes. And here we go. This was the first leg out of the blocks fast. First exchange. Pretty textbook, I think, but let's have a look at this close-up. Oh, beautiful work there from the French team. That's how you do a baton exchange. Here we go. Exchange two. Absolutely rapid pushing on. Again, France, brilliant. But look at Cote d'Ivoire. What happened? Maybe they ran out of time. You have to pass the baton in the box, and who knows? But it wasn't to be for Cote d'Ivoire this time. Absolute determination there on Parisot's face as they passed Chile, pumping the arms. Grimace as coming into the final leg, and just look, yes, brilliant exchange from Italy and France there. Just look at Portugal on the right hand side. They can't do enough to keep up with Chile. Gallet all the way, firing the arms, dipping for the line, has it over Italy. They'll be happy with that.
First time for Chile, first time ever in the World Championships in the 4x100 meters, which is why they were celebrating so wildly. They have one world-class 400-meter runner on the women's side, Martina Vale, who is the daughter of the former athlete and now very high up at World Athletics, Ximena Restrepo. And Chile and France celebrating. The roar here in the arena, you might be able to hear behind us, is because the qualification confirmation had just gone up on screen. Look at the Cote d'Ivoire athlete top left there, just walking away to start the inquest. But those changes, as you see there, that's the line coming up now, which is where they have to change within. You can see they're all well inside that, just in case you've been watching and wondering where that zone is. There's lots of markings on the track, but it's that sort of gold yellow coloured line as they enter the home straight that is the exit to the changeover box. And as you say, Jess, that's where the takeovers have to be executed. I've got to say, we haven't seen too many disqualifications for takeovers outside the box. We've seen a few batons go awry. Touch wood, we haven't had any false starts at all yet from anybody.
Don't
which is
say
immediately
that.
Cursed. I mean, I've literally just cursed the next race, haven't I? But
Chris,
so
you know better than that.
Bad news for all the athletes lining up in race 2 now for the women's 4x1. So if you're watching on from any of the nations taking part in this next one, look at Chile. They're absolutely nice. They're trying to find the camera. So it's round to your left. Turn this way.
Turn around. But they'll dance anyway. Has she got a phone attached to her? She didn't run with that, did she?
I think she had a microphone attached to her for a TV interview, maybe there. You don't run with a phone clipped on your bottoms. Those spectacular sights of Guangzhou by night here Sunday evening, here in southern China, on the Pearl River, across those buildings and residential areas and further sprawling, with the Canton Tower shining bright. In the middle of it all is the Chiane Stadium, and here are the athletes for the second. There's only 4 teams in this, and 3 of them will qualify. Poland have got exactly the same team that they ran yesterday, with Piotrowska leading them off, Niemczyk, Stefanovic and Szymanowskaja. China. I mentioned not many disqualifications. Well, China were disqualified yesterday because they dropped the baton. They tried to pick it up and finish, but they didn't do so within the rules. They didn't go back to where they dropped it from correctly. So they find themselves in this second race today. And the fans of all ages are giving them a huge roar. Here are Switzerland, who are running exactly the same team as yesterday. They didn't get the baton round at yesterday either. Gutschmidt, Burgi, Pointe and Von Kamp. So there's 2 out of these 4 teams that didn't get the baton round yesterday. And Australia, meanwhile, were the fastest team that didn't qualify yesterday. And as a result, they run the same quartet of Georgia Harris, Brie Rizzo, formerly Brie Masters, Christy Edwards and Tubella Philp on the final leg. Australia would be the favourites for this, clearly. But there are 3 places up for grabs. There are 4 teams. It's going to be heartbreak for one. And a trip 3,000 kilometres to the east of here to Tokyo for the 3 others. Australia and Poland on the outside lanes. You would, if you were having to stake some money on it, on paper would be the 2 that you would have in the top 2 positions. But China, with this crowd, could be inspired. Last chances in the women's 4x100 meters. Well, a bit like the Polish women's 4x400 meters, their 4x1 team will probably have a point to prove here. They've gone out relatively modestly on the outside, with China roared on by the home crowd, getting things moving down the back straight. It's China who just about have the advantage at the moment through that first leg. Up on Poland on the outside, who have Niemczyk about to hand on to Stefanovic as we watch the changeovers. Australia were very slick on the inside. The stagger will unwind in their favour as Christy Edwards has the baton around the final curve, but China are right in the mix as well. Poland have got some work to do here. Australia, their final change, that's going to be close. It went badly for Australia, but Guangzhou roars China. It's China heading for Tokyo. Feel the goosebumps all the way down your arms and down your legs as the best part of 25,000 people here celebrate China qualifying in the 4x1. Switzerland take the second place, Poland third, and once again it all comes back to execution, and Australia, the fastest non-qualifiers, are the only team from that heat who don't make the World Championships.
Drama, drama, drama. That is what the relays deliver, and that is why we love it, and that is why the Chinese fans here love it too. Commiserations in the last qualification section for the female Chinese athletes, but not now. Season's best for every single one of those, and wow, it did deliver, didn't it?
Not only a qualification, but the beauty of the victory as well for China, who we've got to credit them, have come out in their numbers this evening. Chen ran the first leg for them, got them off to a great start, and they never looked back from there. Switzerland have run a blinder as well to hold off Poland in that second place. They're both going to Tokyo ultimately, but Switzerland to finish ahead of Poland is an excellent performance from them as well. Poland not quite as strong in 4x1s as they are in 4x4s, but Australia, I'm just desperate to look back at that replay, because the final changeover for them between Christy Edwards and Tuba Phillip, Brie Rizzo had run a 9.98 back straight for them. An absolutely terrific second half of the race. A sub 10-second relay leg for a female athlete is absolutely outstanding, as Edwards, Rizzo gets the baton here down the back straight. So it's not this change for Australia, it's the one afterwards that you need to keep an eye on. But China, well drilled, look, left hand to right hand, the athlete right on the inside of the lane, saving as much ground as they can without stepping on the left hand line. But keep your eye on Australia here on the inside with the green and gold, because the stagger should be unwinding in their favour. The athlete for the final leg, Tubu Philp, takes off. I hope we're going to see it there, not going to disappear out of the shot. There's the hand as we see China get it right. We're going to see Australia get it wrong in a second. The baton is just not coming. And Phillip here is probably starting to think, where is it, where is it? She starts to turn, has to slam on the brakes. Edwards runs in the back of her. And in the end, well, it was just a disaster. She's nearly pushed her over as well.
Yeah, that is just timing gone all wrong. Whether Philp set off slightly too fast, or whether Edwards just wasn't running fast enough in those final few meters, it just, that's going to give them nightmares, isn't it? Absolutely gutting to see Philp just stuttering there, what might have been. But gee, look at that, down the back, home straight. She absolutely smashed that out of the park. Oh, they deserved that. Textbook execution from the Chinese. Brilliant, brilliant race.
And that's a comfortable winning margin as well in a 4x1. Look at that. A 0.3 of a second victory margin for China. And it just shows you that the form book counts for absolutely nothing in a relay, because the two favourite teams in that ended up finishing third and fourth out of four.
Yep, and that's why we love the relays. Some of the slower teams, for example, can make up for speed in execution of the baton exchange. And
Australia have actually been disqualified on the computer, so that 9.98 split from Brie Rizzo unfortunately counts for nothing, but an official disqualification for Australia for a baton infringement there. But China celebrating, and they still have, by the way, their men's 4x100 meters team, 4x400 meters team to come in our final event of the evening in the final, and that would really see the Australia team in the background there. Switzerland, credit to them, they're not at their strongest, by the way. They don't have Kambunji here. Either Kambunji would be a valuable asset to them, either Mbujinga or Ditaji. They don't have Isla Del Ponte either, so it's not their strongest team. But to get through to the World Championships, where presumably those athletes will be available to them, they have won a World Championship medal previously. They were disqualified in Paris in the Olympics, Switzerland, so that's a good bounce back for them in relay action as we mop up the women's 4x100 metres. Chile